We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on the Dallas Cowboys defense, taking a look at how the Dolphins can stop them, counter them, really where their weaknesses are, their strengths, what they like to do. These last few weeks, and specifically this Bills game, they really struggled to stop running the ball. Their linebackers are more like athletic types on the smaller side, and the Bills did a great job just getting to the second level and getting bodies on them with the offensive linemen because they really struggle with the physicality of that part of the game. Like 14 was a safety in college, and he's very athletic, makes a lot of big plays out to the perimeter, but they really attacked him in the running game, and that's very important. And then when you look at the passing game, like the Dolphins need to run the ball a lot in this game. You look at what the Cowboys do, they run a lot of cover one. They play a lot of man-to-man, and Dolphins have taken advantage of cover one, cover three all year long. Cowboys do that a ton. In this game, they did run a little bit of cover two, mix that in there. The Cowboys could come into the game and just completely flip the script on what they usually do, run more cover two, and that's what they probably should do. But if they do that, you should run a lot more. Just run the ball, because they struggle stopping the run even when they're playing single high coverages. So imagine if they're playing too high, the Dolphins could really. I just want to see them run the ball probably more in this game than they have all season long. You can run. I'll show you some plays where they run at Parsons specifically. Their best run defender is probably DeMarcus Lawrence. D-Lot, he's actually pretty good. You probably want to go away from him from his side of the field. Bills won this game by a lot, so they didn't really need to pass the ball. They ran the ball so many times, like 40 plus times. But when they did pass the ball, they had like under 100 passing yards. Cowboys did actually a decent job, but as you can see here, they play some cover one, come out, and you get all the space to work with. It was more of like a glance over the middle to Diggs. The ball is coming out pretty late, but you can just see the potential that they have here. Especially, imagine these DBs working against, the likes of Tyreek or Waddle, giving you this much space to work the middle of the field with timing and stuff like that. So yeah, the Dolphins will definitely be attacking that part of the field in the passing game if they get the cover one looks. Like I imagine they will. They'll definitely see some cover two. Now, does Dan Quinn make the full-on adjustment and just run a bunch of it? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to do that now. I know he's known for making like some big-time adjustments, but usually he doesn't do that till the postseason. Usually he just runs what he usually does, and then he'll make some major changes when he really needs to in the bigger games. But this might be the game to do it for them because it's pretty important. But I feel very comfortable at least with them running the ball, and if they get their usual Cowboys look with a cover one, cover three, the Dolphins should be able to pass the ball pretty effectively as well. Bills did run a mix of a lot of stuff. They ran a lot of gap scheme, which the Dolphins don't do a whole ton of, but here, you get to see some lead outside zone stuff, and the Cowboys gave up. They looked better against the outside zone, which is like the lanes were more clear. They clearly were playing better run fits, but the Bills still were able to gain like 5-6 yard a pop on those plays as well. So it's not like they're perfect against it. Dolphins still should be able to find some success. They go to this side of the field. They clearly are constricting it up. You can see Lawrence winning his battle on the left tackle. That's kind of the guy who will either set the edge or try to win back to the inside. It kind of forces this cutback lane instantly, and he has to get down, but they still are able to gain 6 yards of pop on that play. I think the Dolphins with Mostert, Achane will find success, and also even some tosses where they did some crack stuff, and it actually looked pretty good, like a lot of room to work with for the Bills. And here it is, running some of the crack toss. They did it to Parsons' sides multiple times, and Parsons, very good player, one of the best players in the league at that position, but you can get him with this type of stuff because he does like to get upfield and make impact plays in the backfield, and this is kind of how you can slow him down either. Like, so if this doesn't work, you can still show this to potentially slow him down later in the game, but they get the tight end cracking on him, and they have all this space to work with, pick up, a nice 7-yard gain. And I feel like the Bills are definitely better running inside than the Dolphins, but getting to the outside, I think the Dolphins can even have more success than the Bills did in this game because they have the better personnel for it, and they run it a lot more often than the Bills do. So we'll see how that translates over. I do feel very comfortable. Even though the Cowboys are a lot tougher of a matchup than the Dolphins have faced in recent weeks, I do feel like the Dolphins offense matches up pretty well against what the Cowboys normally do. Cowboys go cover one, 2nd and 3. This is like literally the next play. They try to go vertically, and they actually, do a decent job. We'll look at both sides of the field. Dolphins obviously have better vertical options than the Bills do, so this is where they can potentially take advantage. Gilmore actually gets a really good rep on Diggs, like he slows him down, and that's not open. And that was more of a press look, and then up top they get the off-man look. And I'm definitely okay with attacking. Like, Deron Bland's a really good player, and he is very instinctive, and he takes a lot of risks, though. He likes to jump these and get these interceptions. So even if he's playing off like this, I don't mind taking this deep shot. Like, even Gabe Davis has a chance here. Like, he's open right there. Like, that's a chance to be complete. It's not, like, super open. Allen just completely misses him. pretty bad throw. But there's opportunities to attack this defense, especially vertically if they're going to play single high, which they will, even if they change up their game plan what they normally do. I'm sure they're still going to run cover one at some point in the game because they do this a lot. Some opportunities to dump the ball underneath if they do go cover two, because they're not used to running this defense. Like, they rotate into the cover two. They get a Tampa 2 look, which is where, like, they ran this a few times in this game. It's not something to do a whole ton of, but this is where the Dolphins struggled versus the Titans, is against this specific look. Taking some of the checkdown options. I don't think the Cowboys have quite the personnel to do this as effective as the Titans did. They're more of, suited for that press man type of defense. Their safeties, their linebackers, more suited for those types of defenses as well. And, they give all this space. Even, like, Gilmore gains, like, all this depth as, like, playing to the cover two side. He's the flat, and they just dump it off to James Cook. He has all this room to work with, and he makes some guys miss out in space because he had a absolutely phenomenal game. So I really want to see them, to me, make this an Achane game. That's really who I want to see break out versus them. The area where the Bills kind of had some success was getting the ball to James Cook down the field, because they're running cover one, so they get James Cook aligned on a linebacker. I'm kind of wanting to see the Dolphins do this with some Achane, running some more, because they've been trying to get him the ball down the field more and more. They're getting him more involved in the passing game. And, it's either, straight screens or they're running him straight vertical. I like to see them getting him one-on-one with linebackers, especially in this game. Let him run angle routes, things like this out of the backfield. They're running a corner with all this, and it ends up working. They get a big-time touchdown. Lots of opportunities here, for sure. Lots of big gains for the Bills, especially as the game went on. They're even single higher. They have a number advantage in the box, and James Cook just makes these guys miss. Very good job, very good vision to find these holes. He's doing it on gap scheme, doing it on inside zone, kind of just reading 14. Sees that he bend it down here. And these guys get aggressive up front. They like to shoot their gaps. Sometimes they get out of the play. This guy just blocks him down. He's able to work off of that, combine, and then get to the second level, make a safety miss in space. The Cowboys are definitely have to improve their tackling versus the Dolphins, because they are very explosive. A lot of players very good with the ball in their hands. Another example of running some toss here, crack toss. Bills didn't run it a whole ton, but when they did, there's opportunity. Another nice 9-yard gain. They did this with Ty Johnson, guy who has some good speed to get to the edge. Their edges clearly, a lot of these times when they were in this situation, tried to get downhill, get upfield vertically, and they kind of took themselves out of the play, not trying to win to the outside, not setting the edge. And now you have all this room to work with. This is definitely an area I think they can find some success. And when the Dolphins running a bunch of motion, like, the Cowboys at linebackers are athletic, but they're not the most instinctive players. So if you can, use a lot of misdirection, whether it's working a tight end across, motioning, orbit motion behind, these guys are late to read and react at times. Not all of them, but there's definitely some where they struggle. They rotate a lot in and out. So that's an area where they can definitely find some good wiggle room to work with. Last play breakdown, Cowboys, they literally have 4 guys, hands in the dirt, big numbers in the box, and James Cook just sits whole. Gets a big touchdown, 24 yards. He had, like, a bunch of yards rushing. They're up here in this, tight front look. They pull a tackle across. They leave this guy unblocked. It just seems like they were uncomfortable with it. Tries to drop a shoulder, and they just don't have anyone on that second level that was making these plays. Definitely have looked worse and worse, I think, as the season's gone on versus run. Like, they had a decent start to the season versus run, and it's been like these last few weeks have really taking advantage of that, and then the Bills really took advantage, just never gave up. Like, Josh Allen didn't even throw for 100 yards. That's how many times the Bills ran the ball in this game. So the Dolphins, I think, should take a play out of that playbook. They don't need to run it as much, but I do need to see a decent amount. I want to see a balanced offense, and I think they can find some success. If you're doing much for that, come. Peace.